Guys, so before you watch this video, go check out part 1 of this video, which is on Abhinav's channel. The link is in the description below and on the screen. So go check out his video first and then come to this video where we discuss how we got from nowhere to a #1 bestseller on Amazon. I think the biggest challenge for me was, focusing on the book, especially in those periods of the troughs, right? Where, I'd be writing the book, there'd be like a focus zone, and then I'd stop writing the book and go back to doing my normal work, because remember, the book was a side project for me. I was still running the company. And when I go back to normal work after a couple of weeks, I come back to the book because there's some change, and then I have to get back in the focus zone. So I think the context switch was really high because I was doing multiple things, and going back to something that I had to read through like the entire book to the point where I had to continue writing. Because I don't remember what my flow of thought at that point was. So just to get that flow of thought, I have to read the book again. So I've read the book more times. I haven't read the book after it's like published and on the stands. I don't think you read it either.
No, I read it, and there are still some errors in it.
I know.
I'm sure people who read it know this. I'm not gonna point them out.
Simple stuff.
Yeah. I think the biggest challenge for me was, since this was the first book, I talked about this already, but it was the fact that I knew I was going to promote it. And I was like, I don't want my friends to be like, oh, so cool, he did this. And then it's a shit book, which is really bad. They're like, what is this guy talking about? And this is going to be final on paper. I won't have a chance to change it. So at that point, things got really real. Like, I was just like, okay, like, I need to do this. I was at a stretch, going through it, combing through it multiple times. Our images need work in the book, or our headings are not formatted right. Or even once they typeset it and send it back. A lot of things where I was like, okay, like as designers, we can tell that this needs to be changed. Like they might have done this, but I was like, no, we need to change this. This heading style needs to be like that. But it was small stuff.
I don't know if you remember, but Bloomsbury kept asking us for all the copyrights for all the images. So I had an image where it was me and my co-founders and someone in the book in the ending. Beautiful story. But at that point, Bloomsbury said, you need permission from all the 4 people in this image. And I was like, okay. And I, reached out to my co-founders. They took some time, they were all doing their own thing. And then, I finally got their permission. So every image in the book, there are either permissions or it's created by Abhinav.
Sometimes we also had to email like Upwork. We emailed Upwork. We're like, can we use this? They took some time replying. We emailed, all those software screenshots we have, we've actually emailed these companies to it.
Yeah.
Something I didn't know you would have to do.
Yeah, I thought it was just like, it's like a blog post, you just take a picture of something, put it, you're like, whatever. Yeah. But when you do it with like a publishing company, every email's royalties or source has to be like a verified. So they have to give you like, and in writing, you're allowed to use this.
Okay, so now this was done. We had a final version. This time it was actually final. There was a semi-final one just before this, and then it was final. Now that this was out, we were like, okay, we can breathe for a sec. But let's start planning our marketing, like our pre-launch marketing.
I think the pre-launch marketing, we got on the call. Bloomsbury is a wonderful team, right? So we got on the call with a few of their people. They told us that, look, we have, we do some Facebook promotions, and Bloomsbury already has an audience, but they want to do some Facebook promotions. We promoted it to our own audience. So I think August 18th was when we published the book, was when the official publishing date. I think it was June 18th or August.
I forgot. No, it's not. It was
July 18th.
July.
So again, guys, my timelines are poor, but I think July 18th was when it was on the stands and you were able to buy it in bookstores. But just before that, I think we discussed the marketing plan. We did an Instagram takeover. Yeah. They loved that. Their audience loved that. We just showed them what the life of an entrepreneur's like. We also did a lot of press during this period. And here's how you do press for a book. Work with the publisher. Right, because Bloomsbury already knew all these guys, right? So we got press in Midday, we got press in Tech in Asia, we got press in, I think Entrepreneur, I don't remember. We got press in, I think Bangalore Mirror or Delhi or Mumbai Mirror or something. So we got press in all these places because Kunal from the Bloomsbury team is very well connected. He's just like, have a chat with this gentleman. And we'd have a chat and then be like, cool, we'll write a story about you guys. But if I was publishing a book on my own, I would cold email the publishers as well. So I have a video on my channel where you can actually go and see how you can cold email anybody, especially the press. So take a look at that drip emailing technique. But it's important for you to get in front of the press, because without the press you don't have the credibility, right? And you don't have those organic buys.
What do you think was the start for us for building personal brands? Like at this point, we already had personal brands to some level because of freelancing. It's a great way to get projects, great way to even get a job if you're out there on the internet. But for this book, we needed to do certain things. Right now, we're doing YouTube, we're doing Instagram. When do you think this started? I don't remember.
I think this started with that video I put up about how to reach an editor at Forbes. So that video I was talking about, it was called How to Reach Any Senior Editor at Forbes. Because, Bloomsbury told me if you could make some video content, that's amazing. I said, cool, let me do that. So we made one video about that, and then, I got some traction. Bloomsbury put it up. People love the content. They're like, hey, this is content we've never seen in our lives. Right? If you go to Abhinav's channel or my channel, you'll see that some of this content is amazing. It's like actual tactical advice, not just the, oh, you can do it, motivational stuff. We're tired of that. I'm sure you guys are tired of that as well. So it's actually tactical stuff. And the minute we started doing that, I realized that, hey, I can build a personal brand out of this because I started getting subscribers. Same with Abhinav. People actually wanted to listen to us, and I don't know if it's just a thing, right? You feel like an imposter. You feel like, am I really good enough to put out this content? But then when you think about it that way, you realize, hey, I just published a book, biggest publisher in the world publishing it. I'm running like a multi-million-dollar company. Abhinav was like, senior designer at an academy at that point. So like maybe we're good enough to write a book about this or to build a personal brand.
Think about this, right? We've read a lot of books. When was the last time you DM'd an author and they replied?
This one book called The CEO Code. The author was David Rolanda. I was like, can you be my mentor?
Yeah.
He ignored me for a few weeks, but I kept persistently following up, and he's like, you know what, cool. But that's it.
Because now with our Instagram, like we've seen this, we upload stories every day, we're engaging with this community. And to me, this was just a natural extension of the book. Like the book, we're trying to say something. It's
a one-way discussion.
It's a one-way discussion. It's for everybody to read. But a lot of these small conversations are happening every day on Instagram. Like just before this, we were replying to DMs, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that just really set the context of personal brand to me. But I was just like, I don't really have to do some, not just make a logo and start putting shit out. It was just about people are reading this book, they're enjoying it, and they want to have a conversation with the person who wrote it. And that's very interesting. Yeah. And once we started doing that on Instagram, we started doing this on YouTube. We were like, some of the things we've touched upon in the book can be really good visual essays that we can talk about on our channels, which is why we started YouTube as well.
I think the reason we did it on YouTube and Instagram and not Medium or like email newsletter or whatever, I think people are tired of text. Text is annoying. You're just flooded, you're getting slammed by text on an everyday basis. But video content is refreshing and the world is moving to video. So we adopted video before anybody else in the country. It's not a strange concept or a new concept in America or any of the more developed countries, but in India people are still like, video for entrepreneurial content, it's a small industry, right? And we're just getting started. I think there are very few people doing this in India at the moment.
One question you guys might have is,
how much money do I make?
How much money do you make?
Paisa!
So you can talk about the royalties actually.
So you get 10% of every sale made, right? Regardless of whether it's a physical version or
the
Kindle, I think we get like 25 or a little more. I don't know the exact numbers. I think it's somewhere between 10 and 25% if you make a Kindle sale. But like if we make an offline sale or like something on Amazon, that's 10%. And Abhinav and I were splitting it like 5 and 5%, halfway. So that's not a lot of money, right? Because even if you do the math, even if they sell like hundreds of thousands of copies, that's still not so much money.
I mean, it's pretty standard. I think if you are writing a book, you can probably negotiate it if you want. But if you just think about it, it's you, the publisher, and then this massive distribution network. To actually get it out there, there's a lot involved. So 10%, I'm assuming 50% of that goes to just distribution and logistics.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the trade-off you make when you work with a big publisher. You have potentially higher volume because they have all these channels.
The pie gets bigger. See, if you're self-published, you would have got maybe 100, 500 sales, God knows, right? But in Bloomsbury, they have a distribution network, right? The books in Gwalior, the books in bookstores in Bangalore, in Delhi, at airports. So that's the beauty of having somebody like Bloomsbury. Obviously, you will make very little money, but it doesn't matter. You don't write a book to make money. You write a book to build a personal brand, right? That's the only reason you should write a book. So yeah, so we were building these personal brands, and you said, right, like we were the first authors, or one of the first few authors to be having one-to-one discussions with people who were reading the book. So people would read the book, they'd ask us questions after the book on our DMs, and we'd actually answer those questions. And at this point, we were also putting out a lot of cool video content and saying, on specific parts of Pajama Profit, which these guys will have questions on. So I think we just extended that to giveaways. So I think, conversations were a good segment with giveaways. We just we go to our Instagram stories or on YouTube and we just say, guys, we're giving away books if you do this activity, right? And eventually, a lot of people got like free copies. And, Bloomsbury itself gave a few free copies to reviewers out. And it was just like, here's a free copy, can you review it? And a lot of these reviews give very good reviews. So we were doing all these DMs, and then a lot of people who wanted our time, but we were just too busy. They were like, if I buy the book, it's a ticket to getting a one-on-one session with the author, right? It was actually like that. So a lot of people would buy the book, they read through it, they'd be like, Varun, I have a question on this part. And I'd actually take the time out to answer because, hey, they've taken the time out to read something that I put out. And we started doing giveaways, and when we were doing these giveaways, somehow we realized that we were number 14 on the Amazon bestsellers list, right? And this is the business and communications bestsellers. We realized we were number 14 there, and there was like a race. So I picked up my phone and I said, guys, this is a team effort. Do you think we can reach number 1? Right? And you will not believe, I have like 5,000 engaged followers. Abhinav has another 5,000 engaged followers, maybe another 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We have 1.6K subscribers on YouTube. Small numbers, but we said, guys, this is a race, right? There are so many books from that 1 to 13 range, can we beat them? And you will not believe it became a team effort. And you saw it become a team effort, right? So, we went from 14 to 12 to 4 to, and we were at 4 for a while. And, we were biting our nails. You will not believe some of our fans were also biting their nails. So I had DMs from people saying, I'm watching it live, I'm refreshing it every 5 minutes, hoping it reaches number 1. And people just started putting up selfies with the book. They're like, go support this book, go buy it. It became like an entire team effort. And we got the community involved. And, we were expecting it to take a week or 2 weeks before this campaign worked out. The campaign was, if Pajama Profit reaches number 1, I will give away some portion of my library to a few people, right? To one random winner rather. Right? And Abhinav was like, you're an absolute madman. And I said, let's try to get it to number 1. That's a goal to achieve. And Abhinav, you got the call from me at like 3 a.m. in the morning. What was it like?
Yeah, with these things, since it was all happening on Instagram, like even my story, it was like 6 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., right? It was just like building up. Everybody was seeing this happen. And at every peak, people were DMing. Like the notification just went up. So at that point, I knew something was happening and I was awake. So that's when you called and I was like, okay, this has happened sooner than I expected. And I think the whole thing only took about 16 hours. Like we started at 8 and at night it was done.
And till that point, right, till we started to do the campaign, it had been like 3 or 4 weeks. We just stagnated. We were going between number 14 to number 50. We were just swinging back and forth. At some point, we reached number 120 or something. But those 16 hours, it was a community-driven effort. We managed to get everybody engaged. It felt like a team effort, and we hit number 1. And if you ask me what it feels like to be number 1, it doesn't feel that great. Like it felt really good for 2 seconds when I spoke to Abhinav, and I was like, this feels normal, dude.
Yeah, like what's next? Because now that you have one, what do you do with it? Right? And that brings us to the last point of this video, which is what is the future for Pajama Profit? What are we going to do with it?
So guys, what we realized in that empty feeling when you hit number 1, like I don't know if you felt it, I just felt empty. I was like, okay, now what? Right, we've reached there. We've got to the top. But at that point I realized, it's the journey that mattered most. We really like the journey, we like the community effort. So I'm going to be replicating the same thing on a much larger scale on the internet, right? I'm building a completely free online open source MBA alternative, like business from scratch to finish. From how do you raise a seed round to how do you do cold calls to how do you sell your company, right? All of it, like the entire process, because I've been through it once before, I've been through it multiple times before rather. So I want to give that information out for free, and it's going to be 100% free, right? I'm just building a huge community of really engaged followers, right? I'm not interested in like putting up pictures of, what I ate for breakfast and hope to get likes. That's not an engaged audience. I want to build a really engaged audience that really cares about what I'm doing, and I should care about what they're doing as well. And I think so far that's happening. Abhinav, you?
The next chapter of this journey is going to be on YouTube. Varun has Meta startup going on. I have 10K designers. My goal with my channel is to create 10,000 new designers over the next couple of years. And with a book, this was possible, but it's really hard to do. But with YouTube, massive reach, massive engagement, you can directly talk to us. We're going to be creating new communities online for learning with which you get an alternative path that you probably didn't know existed before. And you get to do this with other like-minded individuals who are just as passionate about doing something by themselves as you are.
That's just something that we have, that's the future plan, I guess, for me. And obviously I have, a company to run, Avalon Labs, we're doing extremely well, quite profitable. So that's my main focus, but this is all things, this is my side project. And my side project is to help people have an alternate career, a career that's way better than just going to work and complaining about it the entire day. So guys, that's it for us. If you liked our content, if you want to learn more about, how to do cold emails, how to reach out to different people, how to write a book, yada yada, we keep running social experiments. Go follow me on YouTube. Go follow Abhinav on YouTube. Go follow me on Instagram. Go follow Abhinav on Instagram. I'm sure as I'm saying all of this, there are icons popping up. So all you have to do is follow those IDs on Instagram and YouTube. And I think, it's a good North Star for you to begin your career at.
Hopefully this video was useful to you. We will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.